Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Back in sunny, ridiculously hot South Florida, after the journey up north, great to be back home and getting situated. And I think a lot of the country experiencing some very warm weather, and I was out in it. What the?
It's too darn hot.
God,
It is too.
Did you mean to
hot.
bring the show to a screeching halt with the volume level?
What if I did?
Your timing was completely off.
That's Sammy Davis Jr. singing "It's Too Darn Hot." What is the? I don't want to talk about the weather. I've been talking about the weather like all the time, and I want to talk about the show today. I want to talk about some thoughts I had because I've been doing a very deep dive on a lot of content that's out there. Specifically, I really watched a lot of Bobby Lee, who I think is such a funny guy, and I watched a lot of him. And a lot of these stand-ups, there are 1,000,001 people that do what we do. And if I can say, you turn the music down. One of the things that I notice about a lot of the content, we've always said that we kind of, we format this show for radio, and we do. But I realize that this little show that we've done for a long time, that you guys have demonstrated, a very tiny number of you have demonstrated that, I mean, really, relative to the world.
Mm-hmm. The world.
Just microscopic audience. Lucky to be here, lucky to be doing it, thanks to all the hustle and all the grit and keeping it alive. I've kept my career going for 15 more years than I ever would have expected it. And I'm happy doing it. And I thought about this show and the upheaval that this show has gone through, and the thought that has recurred on this show where some people row and some people don't. And I thought that something came to me over the weekend as I was having a discussion with Oscar. The angst that is demonstrated on a lot of these shows is on the microphone and on the camera. And it's talked about. It's not talked about every day, but it's talked about. And I say on our show, I think because we are all radio people, we have tended to say that we're an open book and we're being open and honest about our feelings. And occasionally that's true. If something really bad happens, when it's appropriate to do that. What I don't think we do very well is really, really just talk to each other and talk to each other about real things and how we feel. And, a great example would be 5 minutes ago, Oscar was talking to me about, being careful if we do this, because a lot of those guys have a bankroll that can talk about anything they want.
Yeah.
And, they can absorb cancel culture.
Yes.
Where, and Oscar also said, because of our politics to a certain extent, we get people that would love to bring us down.
We've been attacked multiple times in the past.
And that's true, because we can't weather that storm as well as other people. But what I want, and I don't know whether I'll get it or not, but what I want is a little more freeform, because I think freeform is really good. And I think watching you two, as much as I don't watch a ton of it, I watch enough of it. Watching you two interact, you're better at it than when I'm here, because I think that I create an atmosphere of, a little tension because of my mercurial personality to a degree, as my radio partner used to create an atmosphere of tension. And I think that it's really, I've got the principals on this show, Rob and Oscar and Mike, three pretty interesting guys to talk to in a bar, in a living room, at a cocktail party. But three guys that when we all get together, I think that sometimes I'd really like to pull the curtains back more often and really give you the way we're really feeling at the time, whether it's the show, whether it's life, whether it's anxiety, whether it's dealing with the problems of the day. And I just think that they can be funny too, like real things that are funny, stuff that happens to us that's funny. But in the case of Oscar works a lot, and he's in the studio a lot, and he's in Podville a lot, and he doesn't do what he used to do, which was kind of go out and carouse when he was doing both shows. And Rob deals with his life driving back home and driving back to the studio and not doing a lot. So what am I left with there? Well, I'm left with the inner governments of both of you guys. Constant. I'm sure there are thoughts all the time that are going on that you might want to just come in here and vent more about. And I think our audience, and I'm prepared to make this not a edict, but a discussion. I think our audience doesn't mind when we are open with them about what we do. One of the things I garnered from watching so much other content on my break is that this is such a phenomenal fun way to make a living. It's such a phenomenally wonderful way to come in, and this is my job now. This is what I do, where I come in, and you have to be somewhere. You have to do a little prep. I do a little news segment. But other than that, I come in and I turn a microphone on, and I've got a sheet of things to talk about that sometimes I'll look at, not looking at it right now. And sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But I have it there as like a little security blanket. And I think that the angst I feel as I get older and I have a young son that I'm leaving the world to, I think about those things. I think, is my family prepared to march on after I'm gone? I think they are, but I also look at credit card bills and I say, holy S and F, it's like, well, we might as well put it on the credit card. And then the credit card goes, well, you're at your limit on the credit. What everybody suffers from. Mm-hmm. And everybody has that angst. And everybody has that. And the other thing, and I would credit stand-up comedian Bobby Lee with saying that everybody is broken that does this. I'm almost certain of that. I think people that flip a microphone, no matter who they are. I'm talking about your evening anchor. It might be, hi, how are you? Well, it looks really great. They don't have their S together either. People that perform, I think if you peel back the onion, you will find little issues there, And so as far as this show is concerned, we do it, but I think we can do it better. And by doing it better, it means I'm not going to change a thing about the way I do. I come in and I meet with Oscar and Rob before every show, and I said, I got this. Gives us just a little framework. Mm-hmm. Guys know where my head is at. I know where your head is at. And we have a little chat. And that's what. But I don't know whether I'm married to the chat, because I certainly wouldn't need it if I really wanted to come in here and flap my gums about life in general. So I don't know how you react to that, but when I say more free-form discussions of anything, more honesty about the way we're feeling, This was a difficult weekend for everybody. Really hard because of the, in Oscar's case, and I'll bring this up because I want to. I'm sorry. I have to. And Rob, you probably know this. Mm-hmm. And Mac knows it, and Pony knows it. You probably know Oscar feels like he's doing all the lifting. And I don't see any evidence where it's not true, and it frustrates him. And I'm just curious how you really feel about that, because I think that when we talk about you and your lovability, which you have with the listeners, probably a lot more than Oscar and I have, that people don't realize how you might really feel about stuff. And I think it's good for this show, on a variety of levels, to really peel back the onion and talk about how everybody feels about everything in the world and effing life. in general, and how you might feel after a weekend where, somebody puts out, hey, the video looks like blah, 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 and then Oscar's responding and I'm responding and then I respond because Oscar wanted somebody to respond. And no, how do you feel when all this stuff is going on?
Can I just
go
before
ahead,
Rob
you can
goes?
jump in. Yeah, it doesn't
First,
matter.
I didn't know we were going to talk about this on there. I prefer not to but we will because it's compelling radio, and I'm not going to stand in front of
It's not.
great radio.
No one's going to get attacked.
No.
No one's going to get called out. Well, I don't want you to do that.
No, I'm not attacking anybody.
If I was in a living room and you were going to get mad,
we are going to be attacked because
attacked. You and I are going to be attacked.
yes,
No.
every time we bring something
No.
up, we're attacked. Every time. That's why I've asked not to bring anything up.
Because I think that as much as you say that we don't want to yell and scream and diminish, because we have guys that don't fight back. And I think that's why that happens.
Yeah, but there doesn't have to be a fight. The note I want to take from this is I just want to be clear here. Didn't know we were going to talk about this. Okay. Thought it was addressed off air.
Yeah, it was. I'm not exactly doing it the same way.
I get it. And shame on me for even thinking otherwise, because I know how you roll. I've known you long enough that this would have been brought up.
I think it is compelling. I also don't think it's the end of the world.
I agree.
I don't think, but I don't. Can I give you my personal trigger? Somewhere in all of the back and forth over this, you were expressing concern over your state of mind, over your mental health, with the amount of work you're doing.
Correct.
With many plates spinning over at Podville and many plates spinning here.
It's not. So the note.
But I said to myself, I can't deal with another one.
Well, no,
I can't deal with another one. I can't do it. I have to reach out and help this man.
The note to the guys on a Friday night, around 8:30, as I'm going through the QC of what I thought was being managed. And again, the buck stops with me, Mike, technically, because I'm, the on-site team lead.
You are.
And I have to take responsibility for it.
I consider you, if this was a little radio station, you would be the operations manager of the show.
Correct. True. So when I wrote the note about, fine, I'll read it. Excuse me. Talk about compelling radio on a Monday.
Just felt like it should be brought up.
Let me look for this. This is a long thread. And I included Max, so I hope he felt special.
I'm sure he did.
He seems to be fitting in.
Yes.
Yeah, Friday was a bad day for me.
Well, let's not make it about you for 2 seconds.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Fine.
Read the effing room.
I don't mind him.
Friday was a bad day for him because he's got
I don't mind
Addison's.
him jumping in.
No,
that has nothing to do with us.
No. I don't want to hear that either.
I don't hear that.
No, but I'm talking about. I like him jumping in. Then Friday was a bad day for me.
Why? What
because
happened?
it's stones enough to say I had a bad day for whatever the reason is to participate.
So when I got those texts, there was water literally squirting out of my walls. There was a water main break above
There was
my
water
condo.
squirting out of your balls.
Walls, Mike. Walls.
Yeah, water main break right above my condo, and
All right,
my
sorry.
walls.
All right, now I'm bored already.
Okay.
Thank you for
Moving
that.
on.
Thank you, but thank you for volunteering.
You are so fickle.
I rest my case. Okay, back to the text.
You don't need to share it if you don't want it.
I think it's important.
All right.
Just the gist is this.
Yeah, the gist. Give it. I like the gist.
If it's not your thing anymore, just tenure your resignation. No harm, no foul. Begging for a minimal...
You're talking to everybody.
This is for the team. Begging for the minimal of effort from you guys is taking a toll on my mental well-being, which is true.
That's what motivated me.
And the toll is this: answering sales emails within a 24-hour timeline and not having me, essentially be CC'd on every single email that comes through, checking your work before it posts to YouTube, and not having to be reminded about checking your work. and that's the tough part, because as I told Rob in a separate conversation, we've mended fences, and I wasn't yelling at anybody, and I was fine. It was, hey, dude, this is a dream job for me. The fact that I get to run Podville and, be a part of, not just work on the Mike O'Mara show. Like, I want Mike to be able to do the show as long as he wants to do the show, not just to be on the program, but to be part of it. And like, for me, like, I want to help where we can help, but what I felt like it was becoming is like, we're as friends, I'm begging you to do certain things that are just very just answer this email on time right away. Or if an IO comes in, which is an insertion order for an ad, please don't forget about it.
Handle
right?
it, yeah.
Don't let me find out that you forgot about it. And then they write us, be like, do you want to do this advertising? Or with Matt, for example.
Yeah, that's it. What Oscar's talking about, to just give it.
This is just administrative.
In layman's terms,
it's administrative.
Oscar's talking about, like, an advertiser reaches out and says, "We've got this coming up."
Yes.
And please get
Are
back.
you guys
and then,
interested?
And then days go by.
Yeah.
Like more than 1 day shouldn't go.
Correct.
By.
And it's
with
like,
the precarious financial condition of this program,
correct,
1 day should get, and then it's not responded to.
Or if we take a ton of effort and time on the weekends and evenings to up our video game, and the person in charge of the video isn't watching the video after the fact to make sure it's clean and clear, that's a problem.
So this is all minutia behind the scenes which made you say, get out, resign. If you don't want to participate and you don't, because you're killing yourself and it's killing you.
Well, because
inside.
I'm hearing other words from people's mouths. And what was also telling, and look, I'm no victim. If I was a better manager, I'd say, all right, moving on.
Yeah, but there's so many factors involved in
this. These, like I was telling Shannon, I was like, I've known Rob for 20 years. He's coming off a bad beat. And Rob was kind enough to open up about it on Saturday on a personal call, which makes all the sense in the world. Matt, same deal. Known him for over 20 years. Like he's like a brother to me. I want this to be helped out. So I guess in my eyes, I take responsibility, not just for them personally, but for the work product. And on the back end, like what does or does not happen is a reflection of our brand together. And, for, I guess, the listeners, again, great radio, for the better part of 4 months, we've been digging ourselves out of this epic hole for advertising, as you've seen on our website, because a ton of advertisers slowed down their buys in the first and second quarter, finally picking up in the third quarter, where, we're still just trying to sustain a business. So from my perspective, after begging and asking and questioning, you start questioning, like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, because we just talked about this 4 to 5 times. We've talked about this. And then Shannon says to me, maybe you're locked into a toxic relationship that you shouldn't be a part of. And I said, this is what this feels like. Like, I'm telling my ex-girlfriend, like, please don't let any professional wrestlers, take a swanton bomb into your, in between your legs. And she's like, I promise you I won't. And then she's at WrestleMania the next week.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changes. And then, but I was like, then I'm telling my dad, but I love her. I love her. And he's like, well, she's part of a tag team now that you're not a part of, right? Like, you got to let it go. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why am I even here? I love these guys. So then
I feel like I literally, for the vast majority of the time I've been doing this show, I have been physically detached from it.
Yeah, I've firewalled you for the past 14 years.
And but also the actual proximity.
Yeah,
that probably wouldn't be nearly the case.
Yeah.
If when I abandoned you guys, it did 2 things. It,
in fairness,
preserved my mental health.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And it also allowed me to get out of a toxic town for me.
Oh
which
yeah,
was
that
Devil
town was bringing you down.
Mm-hmm.
It was really
Yeah.
bringing me down. So the reason I said more real and more, because I think it's essential that we don't come in here and make happy, happy, joy, joy all the time. I think funny is still a prime directive. I think I don't want to see people go crazy.
No.
I think that there just is too much mean-spirited ball busting when there ought to be just more lifting each other's asses up if we can just tell everybody in listen land what's going on with our world.
Can I speak to this for a second?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, Matt just said one more thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
of course.
no,
Just
no,
one-
you
just
can't.
one- no, this-
Let
one-
him.
one more thing,
This
one-
is
one
a
more thing.
breakthrough. He's speaking.
No, he'll speak for the rest of the show. It's going to be his floor. It's the last thing I'll say.
I love you too, Oscar.
Jesus Christ. You want to know why people give you shit? This is why he finally raises his hand to talk and you say, can I just say one more thing? That's why people, want to know why emails will come out today saying, Oscar just is a bully. Oscar is this, because you're jumping in when he wants, but go ahead, say
Oscar
one
is
little
not
thing.
a bully.
I don't think bullies forego their paychecks for their coworkers.
There you go. That's a very strong point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It'll be next month. It'll be my 6th month without a paycheck from the Michael Mara show.
There you go.
Moving on.
Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
The takeaway for us is that we have this incredible infrastructure that comes from Podville to succeed that we never had before in our lives. I'm talking about equipment, lighting, resources. Like there's not a want for anything technical. So this is just purely like our little trio, our the three of us. And that's what's so crazy, that we can, on this completely separate company, I guess this is the Mind F. And I mentioned this to you on Friday night in Podville, that with strangers, we've been able to create a powerhouse of a media company. But with my best friends, the people I know, I'm begging for an email to be sent back.
Return.
That's the tough.
Yeah.
That's like the burn where
For
you're like,
for an
how is this
advertising
possible? Yes.
inquiry
Correct.
to be responded
Correct.
to and not after 7 days.
Correct.
All right.
That's the mind F. Not because I'm hurt. It's that's the true mind F.
And I see that. And we spoke at length on Saturday and discussed a lot of things.
A very thoughtful conversation.
And I will say this, it's a little weird for me because I was brought up as in the business as a jester and not a real life person, really, just sort of as a background person. And
What do you mean by not a real life person?
Because I think that for the first 10 years or so on the Don and Mike show, I was sort of a background fellow and a caricature of not really myself. And, I was a gag guy, and that's what I did. So I didn't have to be honest and open and share a lot of my feelings. I did a couple times, but it wasn't really what drove me. And then when it became our show and you invited me in, I started to try to evolve, but it was hard to drop what I had always done. Now, I'm also, and I'll be the first to admit this, I am the absolute Lord King of compartmentalization, because at the suggestions of other people, I didn't ever talk about Robert's 3-year battle with cancer on air because it would bring the show down. So
How much, can I interrupt you there?
Yeah, of course.
Did you ever feel, what word I want to use? Because I did. Remember when we started the Mike O'Mara show?
Yeah.
And one of the first things,
Like
I
the
think
first thing.
either I asked you about and I said, I want it, and you brought all your doctors in.
Yeah.
And I assume that was a great day for you.
It was since it's the only segment I saved from that show.
Okay, good. I love that because that is what I wanted.
And I've also
that's what I wanted with that.
You should know this, Mike. I've sent that to no fewer than 20 families that have been diagnosed, and I said, please listen to these segments.
Okay,
it's very important to me.
Do you feel though that you were fearful because we lived in a fearful environment?
Yeah.
That if you broach that, being a behind the scenes guy, as you describe yourself, that there would be, I don't want to say hell to pay, but that you would catch crap for
Yeah,
it?
it wasn't what I was there to do.
Yeah. But also it was.
But it was tough.
You were on the show, you were part of the show, and it was a massive thing. So.
It was very, very tough.
All right,
and I did
go ahead.
compartmentalize it for many, many years. I mean, 3 years is a long time. And it was actually closer to 3.5, where from 3 till 7, it didn't exist anymore. And it always did. So I got really, really good at sort of putting stuff aside for the show. And if sometimes it's sort of perceived that I come in as a happy guy and a gag guy and someone who's not as real or genuine or showing my ass as much as you two, it's because I have years of training the other way. Now, it has gotten bad, and I've not said this before, but based on the first year of recovery, Mike, I am in recovery, as you know, and the first year of recovery,
still have to laugh at that.
I know.
I'm not going to stop laughing at things we'll
look,
always
I
laugh
actually
at.
wrote it down because it was Oscar's phrase. I wanted to make sure I got it
He's
right.
in recovery.
I'm in recovery. The first year of giving up booze and trying to eat right was easier than it is now. And I don't know exactly why, but then losing my best friend unexpectedly was crushing to me. Really, really hard. Hardest death I've ever had to deal with. And it really was a cumulative effect. And I'm not saying that this is some sort of get out of jail free card for messing up on the job. Far from it. And I have messed up on the job, but I've started seeing a psychiatrist. I'm speaking to a therapist. This is something I've never even thought of doing. And I think it has helped me to start, even behind the scenes, when I talk to Oscar about here's why I'm feeling, here's what's going on, here's what I think is tripping me up. I've adjusted. I never thought I'd say this outside of like a different chaser. I've adjusted my meds. And it's kind of a wacky thing. I feel differently now.
In what way?
Just less responsive to immediate emotional things. Like, and we've talked about this years ago on the show. As I got older, I was a crier. I'd cry at commercials. I'd cry at movies, cry at all sorts of things. My mom and my cousin cried at the end of the Indiana Jones movie just last week. I can't cry anymore. But also, the emotions, it's like...
Well, you're not as hydrated anymore, either.
Well, it's...
Hydrated.
Trust me, I'm more hydrated
God's
than
sakes,
ever.
man, we have Liquid IV. They stayed with us.
Yeah.
But it's like the top end and the low end of my emotions have been taken from me, and it's great to not have those low end emotions. I don't go home in a funk, in a stupor, which I had been. And you know what? I can feel better about it, but I know that the ability to talk about your feelings after not having done it for 50 years is really tough. And that's harder than giving up booze. That's harder than losing weight because that's your whole mental set.
You do it in your personal life too?
A little bit. I talk to my parents and I talk to Carrie some, but you know what? I still, even with the people that are closest to me, I don't want to, I got this feeling, I don't want to burden them with that. I've got it. Let me deal with it.
Can I ask you a pointed question?
Yeah, be as pointed as you want.
When Oscar is, I don't want to use the ranting and raving.
No.
I'm not. I don't rave.
I'll say this when Oscar's at his wit's end.
No. When I'm getting this and Oscar goes wide with it, which means I'm included.
Yeah.
And I call Oscar because I'm worried about him going through all this. And, the problems that have been the problems and continue to be the problems. And you hear about this. At what point do you want to fight back? Do you want to? I think when Oscar's at his wit's end, and when maybe I'm at my wit's end with that, because of your on-air personality and because of your on-air presence, you're a tremendous asset to this program. And then behind the scenes, I hear, again and again and over and over and over about things that,
I've
aren't
screwed
dealt
up.
with,
Yeah.
and you're not dumb. And I wonder sometimes, do you want to scream? Do you feel like you're being unfairly singled out for this? Do you feel?
No, I
as
would
though
feel that if I hadn't screwed up.
Well, then, my question is, as a smart person, as a person that you go into your home and it's meticulously organized. You're the one that organizes your household. You do the laundry in your house. You know what I mean? Everything is like bing, bing, bing the way you want it. And then it doesn't happen here. And I can understand the frustration. I don't know. I don't know what to ask you. I don't want to ask you why. That sounds confrontational.
I wish I knew why it added up like that. But it's something wrong with me. I'm working on it. I'm going to try. And again, I know you guys don't want to hear I'm just doing my best or I'll do better, but that's all I got right now because I feel like there's some weird wiring something. I don't know. I'm not happy with myself right now.
I welcome that statement. I welcomed it on Saturday when we finally had what I thought was a breakthrough. My goal as a friend and, a brother to you and Mike and Matt, your friend.
Like a cousin, maybe a second
maybe
cousin.
an associate, someone we met years ago.
But there's a value to hanging in there with us.
Yeah.
And keeping the connection alive.
So for me, this is the best way to look at this. When Rob came out of recovery, or came out of the hospital,
right?
It was, for me, this is probably more selfish for me. It's very clear to say, okay, we are going to scoop up all your responsibilities. We'll take care of them. Awesome. You take 2 months. We'll figure it out. Right. Awesome. And then you came back. You were hitting on all 8. You're
7.
For me, you're like you were pushing. And this might be a broken chip with me. It's like when I ask us the 10th time, like, how can I help? Right. I'd rather someone talk to me like we talked on Saturday and say, look, dude, something's up. I don't know if it's these meds. I don't know what's going on, but I don't even understand why I'm not answering a money email, as I like to call them. Not like the junkies money. I'm talking about revenue.
Real,
money. Yes.
Yeah. Inquiry about spending money.
Yeah. That makes no sense. That I never would have thought to forget about it or punt it for 7 days or lose a buy because I didn't respond in time. I just don't know what's going on. That answer allows my mind to be like, okay, I gotcha. I'm going to take over that responsibility and I will scoop it up and I'll bring you under my wing and you're making the strides to get better. Awesome.
Yeah.
The mind F is probably 6 or 7 conversations leading up to this on-air conversation, being like, hey dude, can you please answer this email? Like, I don't want to be the one that finds it on the weekend when I'm dedicating another 9 hours to TMOS, which I love to do, but I don't want to find all this dirty laundry that should have been just taken care of, please. And you're like, I got you, man. I promise it'll never happen again. And then it happens literally 2 days later. Or that following week.
Do you think the meds contribute to a general numbness that doesn't allow you to feel
I wouldn't say
inner
numbness.
governance that hey, I better get this done?
I wouldn't say numbness as much of maybe a lack of urgency. And that's the weird thing.
Can you get your doctor to give you an urgency pill?
Yes.
No, he's on his journey back. And hearing what he told me on Saturday made so much more sense than the emphatic, you're right, my bad, this will not happen again. So that's the crazy side of that I was talking about. Like, I promise you I won't cheat on you again, and then you get cheated on. So then on the other side, with you and I, when you were like, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
He said, Oscar, ever since I've been back, even when I work on best ofs, it kills me to listen to best ofs because I don't feel like I'm the same person.
It's true. I listen, Pony puts best ofs together, but I listen to them before we post them. And it's heartbreaking to hear me faster and funnier and just a better broadcaster 3 years ago. And everyone can say, oh, it's just the same. Well, no, I think we could all listen to it and hear a difference. I mean, we're very, very married to the broadcast.
We've never mentioned anything to you, though.
No, not a word. But I'm very sensitive to it, and I realize it. And
well,
it's
let
troubling.
me tell you this. One of the things, and this is why we have these discussions, one of the things I'm thinking of, maybe you're right about that. Maybe it's time to not worry about that, to not worry about the quick retort. We all have them.
Yeah.
Well, we all shoot them in there every now and then. We'll never change that. Everybody does that. You don't do this show without that kind of stuff. We want to have it. But I wouldn't be suggesting this direction for the program if I didn't think it was, Oscar likes to use the term evolve or die.
Yeah.
I think every now and then it's fun to come in and talk about really something that is compelling.
I love it. I mean, you open it up and you let it breathe.
And you include it.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you could offer that have nothing to do with going out and having an experience, or it's just the way you feel. I think it's kind of my turn to let you know one thing. It absolutely, as I'm consuming all this content, it absolutely makes me feel like one of the greatest failures in the world to see the type of bull that garners incredible engagement today. And it just, I've always been hyper competitive. I don't believe in doing this unless you want to win it. I want to be the best. I want to be, I want to be top of the mountain. I want to stay in the game. I want to stay relevant in the game. And that's where my anxiety enters in, like late at night. I'll be sitting there going, oh my God. What? So when new stuff is done for the show, Oscar will tell you this. Last week I was up in Maine and he's implementing this new video stuff. I was just so excited because I still get effing excited. I don't get as angry as I used to get. That's not me. That is modern medicine. That is why. And the modern medicine, I have also learned, has to be taken very early in the morning. Because if it's not, that's not going to help. But I know I'm 64 years old, but I feel like I've got 10 years to rise up. And I didn't say that before. I used to say 5 years. And there are days that I say 1 year. But I really, really feel like I want to do better. I want to bring more people to the party. I want to talk to more people. I want to use this studio. I want to go out and do something stupid. I want to have something horrible happen or spectacular happen where everybody talks about it because we did it and stuff and we're relevant and we do all that because I want the show to be fantastic and I want my kid to be popular. I want to show my wife's boobs on the show and I want everybody to pay attention to it. I want to win.
I think we all want that.
Yeah.
I want to win,
right,
win.
Mac knows.
I can't.
What?
I can't even.
Thank you.
He couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It exploded if you saw Carla's boobs.
All right. Well, we talked about that. That's actually something we're planning on doing, but I don't want to exploit her.
Where are you on
Not
feet?
true. What?
Where are you on feet?
Feet work.
He's justified. He's the feet
Feet
guy.
work.
Yes,
Mike.
I do.
I pop on those videos. I've learned that they cheat you. I've learned that the lady that's pulling down her bikini bottom in mid-pull is not going to even be on that compilation.
No.
What an idiot I feel like after
Got
that.
different feeds coming our way. Mike, the answer, thank you. You gave a much more elegant, enthusiastic answer than I gave to Rob.
Eloquent.
No, enthusiastic.
There was enthusiasm.
Yeah, because
All right.
I told Rob, we're just happy you're alive. And I personally will tell you that I'll take you medium
Me too.
alive than, a train wreck dead.
He
all
drives
day.
me nuts. And I know that he doesn't. He's been very honest in
Yes.
this segment. We've all been.
Yeah.
And I will take medium Rob. I probably wouldn't wouldn't be able to come in here and do what I do without you, Rob. I just don't think I could. I talk to Oscar about it occasionally, but I don't think I could.
Well, when you were going to die, we were like, what happens?
Yeah, we were talking about what are we going to do when he's not going to be able to come back? What the
I was like,
oops,
man.
excuse me. I tried not to.
That's fine.
All right.
I really tried not.
I said, look,
but
we'll take care of his fam as best we can, but Rob Mayer, we got to grab him from the clutches of his world tour.
And most of the production could stay the same because you got the same name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think
Good choice.
No,
Luckily,
I think that
you made it through.
You're dealing with your crap.
Yeah.
And we are, you know,
Smart.
working hard. And Oscar, I want Oscar to get back on track financially. And thank God he's got the other, side
the
of
other
things.
gig.
But that's not good enough. And really, the reality of it for the listeners out there, he'll get paid. Not sure when it'll happen, but trust me, he will get paid. He always does. You know why? Because he makes sure of it. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
But that's the goddamn truth. So I always say, well, okay, that's 2 Christmases for me that are going to be poopy.
See, what's great is you make it about you when instead you could say, man,
Very grateful.
I can't believe I
I'm
worked
very
with this
grateful.
guy that's just foregoing
No,
his
I'm very
pay,
grateful.
no problem.
I'm very grateful that I have
Willy-nilly.
not, I'm super grateful for that, and I should say it publicly. And I'm glad you said it publicly. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not embarrassed by it. It's the way of the world. It's the way it is.
That's what you do if
but
you
I'm
can, right?
goddamn frustrated by it. We've been there before.
Yeah, we've been there.
We may be there again. Who knows? So anyway, that's, when you come in and you have something that's on your mind and you're like, well, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. Remember, this is not the place to do that anymore.
Yeah.
This is the place, and this is to you, Rob. This is the place to come in and without even talking to me before the show. And Lord knows, over 30 years, we've had plenty of discussions off air before and after the show. Let's do them on this show more often.
Okay.
And I'm talking about anything. Good stuff, funny stuff, angry stuff, bad stuff. That's cool. I'm really ready for that, And a final thing, I do a lot of bitching for comic purposes for my family up in Maine. Very, very brief stay for us comparatively. My sister, my niece's family, my cousin Teddy's family, they could not have been kinder and more welcoming and more loving to my family.
That's great.
And so that's the real truth, Ruth. I was just really happy. I've got it in hand now about what that place is to me, and it ain't what it is to them, and that's fine. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. But when we do go up there, it's special, and I want it to continue to be special. So thanks to everybody in Maine. Outside of that, we can move on. I've got a regular news.
So you didn't play any pranks in your sister's house when you stayed there?
No, I didn't even do the old joke about, do you know someone's living here?
That's funny.
Do you know somebody's actually living? Why did you paint the walls that color? Why black? No. I'll still do the snow joke though. That's, by the way, if you happen to live in Florida, that's a snow joke. Everybody should do this. If you're newly moved to Florida, and Lord knows a lot of you fascists came down south of the border.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to go where our people are. They came down here. A great thing to do when you get the first bad winter storm, whatever area up north you're from, call a relative and say, I don't know whether to go jet skiing or take a hike through the park today. It's going to be 82 degrees. And I get the same response from my sister. And it's 2 words. And it always works. Anyway, we've got to take a break. So that's where we are right now. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. And Oscar, thank you for everything you do and for doing it and allowing me to pay my energy bill. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do not work for me.
Allowing him to either water ski or go for a hike.
Thank you very much. Get to know me. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Get to know Legacy Box.
I like the Tommy Shelburne read.
It's the ultimate solution for preserving your precious memories. Don't let your box of old home movies deteriorate in a hot, damp, musty box this summer. With Legacy Box's Save Your Tape sale, you can easily access and protect those memories forever for only $9 per tape. It's like magic. Simply send in your Legacy Box filled with VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, all sorts of good stuff, your photos. Their professional team will digitize everything and return it to you on a thumb drive or in the cloud, along with your original items. Experience the amazing feeling of bringing your past into the present and preserving it for the future. We've all used it. We all love it because you can't put a price on memories. Don't let this summer's heat age your videotapes, film reels, and fade your photos.
Yeah, Oscar.
Visit legacybox.com/TMOS to shop their $9 tape sale. That's legacybox.com/TMOS to unlock this incredible offer. It's meant to be. Get that? Meant to be. Where's my thing as he pats? I have it right here. It's meant to be.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is... God, get off of there, you...
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
I thought you were Mellow You.
Yeah.
I know.
And who are you talking to?
Yeah.
No, I had a microfiber towel that was like stuck to my copy, and it frustrated me.
The towel.
Oh, we thought somebody was on there.
Or a dog.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to a human. I was talking to myself. Nobody's going to be charged with hitting Britney Spears in the face because nobody hit Britney in the face. Now, I saw the video, watched it like 5 times because I am an American.
Yes.
When Britney tried to get the attention of Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama,
That's him.
outside that Las Vegas restaurant, his security guy pushed Britney's hand away from Victor and into her own. Police determined that he, quote, did not willfully or unlawfully use force or violence against Britney. Here's an interesting capper to the story. After this happened, Britney went into the restaurant to eat and booted Pauly Shore from his booth.
Man, that guy can't catch a break.
But it doesn't sound like it was on purpose. What time of year are the whack jobs in Vegas? Hey. Pauly had already been seated at the restaurant, but when he got up to use the restroom, someone seated Britney at the same table. When he came back, they both kind of laughed it off. Then Pauly grabbed his phone, glasses, and fanny pack.
Gross.
And he found another table. Was he alone?
No,
I don't
he
know.
looked like
It
he was
doesn't
with his
say.
manager.
Why
or
were you
friend.
in my booth, buddy?
That's
It was a big story last week.
The weasel.
It was
Big
a big story
story.
because it looked like she really got clocked, and then she said, F you, F America,
America.
whatever.
Not enough attention is being paid to the fact that during the whole time she was using a British accent.
Hello. Hello, rookie Wembanyama.
Pauly Shore was talking in an Irish accent.
Okay, Jamie Foxx and Madonna have both been spotted in public for the first time since their health emergencies. Jamie was seen yesterday afternoon on a yacht on the Chicago River. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
People on a passing boat took video, and he looked to be in good health. He even waved back to them when they waved to him, and he also said, "Put on the ribs."
That's not true.
Sorry.
In a British accent.
Put on the ribs. He was also seen out in the town. Sorry, in Chicago on Saturday night.
Was he wandering or what was he
No, they
doing?
asked him if he was out for a night on the town, and they said, "How's the night going?" He goes, "Super duper."
Oscar, any idea what he's doing?
No.
Okay.
I am doing Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
No, I've never seen it.
You should
If
see
you
it,
go
even though
where
it's in
you
black
should
and
go.
white. Yeah.
Do you have the clip?
I do.
From,
Give me a sec.
If you go where you could go. As for Madonna, she was spotted walking with a friend in her New York City neighborhood yesterday. A source says she looked happy and didn't have trouble walking.
That's great.
Although she was, quote, taking her time. And now we have that clip of Young Frankenstein.
I may have to fast forward a bit.
That's okay, but this gives Oscar context. There we go. That's a picture of them on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here you go, Oscar.
tonight it is my great privilege.
taking a break to get a
of
Diet Coke. I'll be
introducing
right
to you
back.
All right.
a man whose family name
Please
was
dig
once
this,
Bose.
Oscar.
Ramis
He's debuting the monster.
Infamous. And now, may I present to you Dr. Baron Friedrich von Frankenstein.
Not very much applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Damen und Herren, from what was once an inarticulate mass of lifeless tissues, may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. Hit it! If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes.
This is the guy from Lady in Red.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
Yes.
And also the father from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, look, I know this clip from the show.
The late Peter Boyle, the late Gene Wilder. Here's the super duper part. It is. Okay.
Trivia
Thank you.
question. Do you know who was Peter Boyle's best man at his wedding?
Dennis Hopper.
John Lennon.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're good buddies.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, as for
How about that?
Jamie Foxx and Madonna, we wish them nothing but the absolute best. Be careful how you use emojis. A judge in Canada just ruled they can be legally binding, specifically the thumbs up emoji. God, I've used that too much.
Yeah.
It all stemmed from a disagreement between a farmer in Saskatchewan and a company that he was trying to buy grain from. Back in 2021, a buyer for the company sent a mass text to a bunch of farmers trying to buy around 100 tons of it. Actually, the farmer was trying to sell it. A farmer named Chris Achter called him back, and they talked it through. The buyer texted Chris a message to please confirm the contract. Chris texted back a thumbs up. And the judge ruled that that is binding.
That's
Because it was there.
stupid.
No, it's not. I think it's a thumbs up. I think you ought to be careful with it.
Yeah,
if
but
you're going
don't-
A-OK,
Yeah, but
it's
don't.
written.
You shouldn't. It's not written. It's an implication at best, and it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be doing big deals over text.
No,
Well,
I think.
I'm with
Yeah,
the
I think-
company.
Okay, how do you interpret a thumbs up? What any other way of taking that in your mind? And I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I can
want to
give you
know.
one answer. He takes it as Mike's busy.
No, I would say that, you know what? Thank you for contacting me. Call me. Let me know. Deal sounds good. But that can't be binding.
Yeah,
It's
but
not a
doesn't-
signature.
Call me in text or give me a ring.
Well, maybe he should have used the phone emoji.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. You know what? It's Canada. I don't trust the whole thing.
Chris's lawyers argued that emojis can mean different things, so it shouldn't be legally binding, but the judge called it a non-traditional and valid signature. So now Chris has to pay over $61,000 in damages plus interest. There's your thumbs up right
Boo.
there. Do you go to bed at the same time as your significant other? Do you?
I'd say 4 out of 5 times.
I start out and then the snoring
creep out?
ensues, and I'm like, well, might as well go downstairs.
But you go into bed with
Yeah,
her
we're
when
both
she's...
we're both in the envelope.
yeah.
Okay. I don't nearly as much as I should.
We arm
According
wrestle,
to-
and then it's right to bed.
Do you usually sack out and do your own stuff on a phone or?
She does more than that. I don't usually do a lot of phone action in bed. I normally
Do you
zone.
get naked in front of her or in the dark before you slide into the?
I don't sleep naked anymore.
Oh,
We've
sorry.
established this.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
wrap
matter.
myself in an ace bandage.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter whether you're doing physical stuff in bed together or not. People just like being in bed together. Carla absolutely would have me in there every night just so she gets to sleep. She likes me in there so she can fall asleep. That's just routine.
And you know what? That's the way it was when we traveled.
Absolutely.
You and I.
We'd fall asleep easier.
We would.
Always get a full 8 hours if we went to sleep together in the same room.
Miss Bobby loved only getting one room.
Yeah, save money. The researchers found couples who go to sleep at different times reported less satisfaction in their relationships and felt less connected to their partners overall. So if you think that's something your wife or your husband may like, I would suggest you do it. It'll be healthy for the relationship. And now a little something. UK fitness coach Fiona Simpson
I love her.
revealed her man's beige flag For the uninitiated, a beige flag is a moderately unattractive trait that isn't a total deal breaker like a red flag.
Okay.
But the beige flag for her is his recurring fake marriage proposal joke. Here's the quote. Me boyfriend's beige flag is that he fake proposes to me when we're in a romantic moment. And now I'll genuinely think it's a joke if he ever does it for real. Men of TikTok are getting roasted online for pretending to pop the question on camera, much to their partner's disappointment. Meanwhile, TikToker Darren Clegg pulled the same prank as the sunset over water, a picturesque scene for popping the question, if only it was real. In the video, his girlfriend can be seen shaking her head and smiling, knowing he was only kidding.
Wow.
Some of the comments on the video, quote, "Don't. My partner kept doing this, and when he did propose, I walked off." That's from one user.
Okay.
Another one said, "This is a red flag to me. Do not mess with my feelings like that." Another chided, "This is not a joking matter." In a prank in 2007, Carla O'Mara received her proposal from Mike O'Mara by showing no visible emotion.
I remember that.
Yep, I'll never forget it. She said, "Can you stop talking about that after all these years?" I said, "Nope." Anyway.
I always thought that when she's talking about his beige flag, it was like a skin tag.
Yeah, I got a lot of those, too. In weird spots. Did you know that 80% of men will experience hair thinning in their lifetime? But it doesn't have to be you. Take control of your hair health with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement. Nutrafol is clinically shown to improve hair growth, visible thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Visit Nutrafol.com/men and take their hair health wellness quiz. And Nutrafol will provide you with a personalized plan for better hair health through whole body wellness. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code TMOS. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutraof. I'm sorry, too fast. Nutrafol, Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code TMOS. That's Nutrafol.com/men, promo code TMOS.
That was a good read, Regis.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie.
Spy report. Spy report.
Yes.
Spy report. We have Oscar Santana with a spy report about his wifey.
Mike, on Friday night, and Rob, on Friday night, I took, in fairness to me, I always ask Shannon to go out and have dinner with me.
Yes.
99% of the time she says, no, let's just go have a parfait, which is grapes, seeds, walnuts. I don't know.
And it's boring.
It's mostly green grapes and yogurt. I've seen her eat it.
It's sad. It's sad. And it's just me and the nightly news. She goes upstairs and watches her stories, and I'm just sitting there thinking about it.
And on Friday night, that's a drag.
Correct. So she said yes. And I said, well, fine, drop off the dog. Let's start walking. And one of the beautiful things about living in the city is that we can walk down to the waterfront.
Sure.
And I said, let's go. She goes, where we're going to go? Like, I don't care where we go. There's a zillion restaurants. Something's going to be available.
Yeah.
We go down to Tony and Joe's, sit down in the waterfront a little early. Got a great people watching because there's a pirate ship that rolls up right in front of Tony and Joe's on the Georgetown waterfront.
There's actually 2 of them,
and
Mike.
a bunch of drunks get on it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
That's great. So if it's not the kids version, that's a booze cruise.
Yes.
They're fun to watch.
Booze cruise, completely people pre-gaming. They're ready to get...
So you see it show up and they're onboarding people that have already been pre-gaming.
When you
pirates-
see them close, do they look as much like they're made of cardboard as when you see them from a distance?
No, these are solid ships.
Okay, because
somebody's policing the build quality of these ships.
By the way, Ian Survivor, the one down here, Fort Myers Beach pirate ship, son's been on it 3, 4, 5 times. It survived.
That's
and
amazing.
I'm talking about a decimated. Remember those pictures I showed you?
Yes.
The shrimp fleet that was pushed up onto the parking lot?
Correct.
Same docks.
Yeah, wow.
Same area. Pirate ship standing in the water, sitting out there floating after the hurricane.
So build quality. We've had a pirate ship builder on the show.
There it is.
Solid. Right?
Doesn't that look
That's
like
the guy that
cardboard?
pulls up. That is not card. No, it's solid when it rolls up. Tony and Joe's is right here.
I love that
Right?
place.
So we're sitting there
It's a great place.
having a great time. By great time, just sweating. And I convince her to have a Moscow Mule. I have one beverage because it's taking forever because service isn't what it used to be, Mike. You know this.
I know it is. That's just the way it rolls.
But I said, let's get 2 crab cakes and get out of here because it's hot. But at least we got out.
Crab cakes.
And during that time, I'm better. I've learned a lot. I know my wife doesn't like me looking like around at women jogging by, so I pretend I don't see them and I stare ahead at my wife. And that's
Are you wearing sunglasses?
I am, but I don't even try to take a Tom Glancey because she's going to catch me. Like I can't. I don't have the skill set. I'm done.
Huge mirrored sunglasses.
I'm done.
Take a Tom Glancey.
Yeah, I can't.
I like that.
So I know better. Like she'll call me you old creep all the time when I was younger when this would happen. And I was like, I don't even realize it's happening. So I just stare at her like a serial killer.
I think it's the way we're programmed. I think it's genetic.
I think it is when I do it, I'm aware of my surroundings in case a mugging's about to happen.
Okay. You're just doing it. You're doing it to protect the citizens.
Of course, myself and others.
I get it.
So I'm fine. I know what I'm getting into. Stare at your wife. Do not look at the scenery.
Right.
Is it a target-rich environment down there? On
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And now look, I'm used to it. Like I've been trained. I'm not happy to say that. I know now it's not worth the Tom Glancey.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're in
do
the
anything.
city. By the way, I was in the city of Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, my
Correct.
God.
Correct.
It's where the young people are. It's where the vibrancy is.
So
it's beautiful.
My wife is
Settle.
36 years old. I am 45. I know after all these years of marriage that, hey, this isn't that. Even if I try, I have to focus on my wife the entire time. And I'm asking her questions about her day. I'm asking her, things that I think are going to interest her. I'm trying to engage outside of work because we don't want to talk about work anymore.
What's your hot topic for her outside of work when you ask her a question?
I was asking her about like who her new YouTube makeup tutorial gals are. Like I'm trying to engage.
Mike, don't make a face.
No, I'd probably do the same.
Yeah, so I'm fighting, right? And then she starts telling me the story about this YouTuber or TikToker that she's really into. And I'm like, all right, this is interesting. We're talking about media.
Right.
Fine. And I notice this gentleman who just looked like a Greek god jogging down behind her, like just in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if she stares at this man, this is going to be the saving grace of me being an old creep all those years in our early years of marriage.
So
I'm
you
sorry,
see
go
this
ahead.
guy in the distance.
Yes. You couldn't miss him.
And you think you're
Tattoos,
gonna wait. You're gonna
abs for
see,
days.
You're gonna wait
Yes.
and see if she focuses
correct,
on him.
Because yes. So she's telling me her story.
Mhm.
And then the guy runs by glistening in the sun. And I don't say anything. I'm still listening to the story like
Sure.
a serial killer. And then she slowly starts to flame out of her story. And she says, I'm sorry, I have to be honest. That dreamboat just distracted me and I've lost all train of thought.
She was totally honest with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said,
that's beyond
Peach,
wonderful.
you're human. You should look.
That's beyond
Like,
wonderful.
if
what
I
she
was
did.
into dudes, I'd stare at that dude.
That's a lifetime contract, pal.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's as honest as you got an honest one.
Yes. And I said, is it okay for me to stare now? I don't mind. And she said, absolutely not.
I love that story. That got all the answers that I wanted. That's you don't have to go any further. She gave you total honesty.
Yes.
And then she told you the way it should be because you would do it different. She's just saying, oh, I just saw this guy, this
Yeah.
Adonis. I had
Yeah.
to do it. Not going to do it all the time. She gives you carte blanche. She'll never be talking to a guy that doesn't have his head on a swizzle. Swivel. We'll be right back.
Nice swizzle.
Oh, man, hot. Surface of the sun down here in Florida.
Yeah.
It is. It's crazy. Summertime is here in most areas of the country. We know you're sizzling. It's time to focus on your face. Luckily, DermGlow has everything you need in one place. Attention, fellas, Mike's Big or Mike's Little package still on sale. The Sun's product that I use every morning. I take my shower. I get out of the shower. I am in 95 degree, folks. 95 degree direct sunlight within 3 hours, and I never think about it. I never think about reapplying it. Reapplying it.
Beautiful.
I don't do it.
Don't just
it's
look
the stuff
at it.
Carla has provided me with. Ladies, indulge yourself with Carla's Beauty Bundle. Also on sale now with DermGlow. Enjoy fast shipping and worldwide delivery. They even offer Afterpay for your convenience. Enhance your loveliness with virtual skin consultations and find the perfect products for you. And if we can't decide, an e-gift card from DermGlow is always a winner. Visit DermGlowSkin.com today. The ultimate facial boutique featuring facials and products by the pampering esthetician who today opened her brand new store in Fort Myers, Florida. The Pampering Esthetician and the Facial Boutique in downtown Fort Myers, Florida. If you ever get into town, go get a facial from Carla. They are the best. Reach out today and tell them that New York Giants great safety, Emlyn Tunnel. I don't even know who the F that is. Emlyn Tunnel sent you. Emlyn Tunnel.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest Giants of all times.
All hail the Gremlin. I never knew the nickname or any of that. I didn't know what was going on.
I like giving you sports figures.
Very, very proud of Carla starting her business today. She was working all weekend, getting stuff down there. I contributed. I put a toilet seat on the toilet, and I also put the toilet roll holder there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did you use anchors to make sure that toilet holder stays solid?
I
Good.
did. Yeah,
That's excellent.
It's in there good and tight. Then I had to go back home and get a mini screwdriver for that absolute BS little thing that you have to use to tighten that thing to the little bar.
Yeah.
Never understood that, the way they do that. But, say, it's done.
Was it nice to see your shelf there?
It was very, very nice. Yeah. You'll notice I don't have one anymore.
Yeah, I was like,
I've got this one. We'll be feng
I like
shuiing.
that the Michael Mayer show lit up. I thought that was interesting.
It does. Come back, center, please. Do you need some toilet paper rolls installed?
Hi. Anywho, Rob's got a new energy drink, and I want to just tell you quickly about pilots.
Please.
Yeah, I'm a nervous flyer. You know I'm a nervous flyer. This is just for all pilots. Joel Rogers, I would welcome your thoughts on this. I don't need chatty, but I also want to know if I'm on a plane that's going to leave at 3:42 in the afternoon, and we get everybody snug as a bug in an effing rug on that plane, and the door closes at 3:20, and then you're just going, flight deck, okay? The guy with the little voice. Let me tell you what he sounded like. I swear to God. When he finally came on, it was like, hold on a second.
This is the flight deck guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your... ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot speaking. We are just about to push back. And thank you for flying Delta. Click.
That's it.
That's all?
That's all.
That's all.
I mean, why? We're sitting there. We're gonna leave early. Why not speak? I don't even think that's what he said. I think the only thing he said was
folks, we are number 2 for takeoff. Flight attendants, please put camera.
I have.
Did you see him before the takeoff?
No.
Okay.
So I'm after the plane landed. Told him nothing like flying into Florida in the summertime, right, Captain?
And then he soiled himself.
Yes, I did. And then I urinated, Look, I my pants, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh. I have a story about that. And
you your pants over the weekend?
Just briefly. Can this energy drink hold?
Of course. We can talk about it tomorrow.
My brother bought my mom a new iPhone. Great. Spoiling her rotten. Love a mom. Anything from my mom. She comes over to me yesterday because I visit her on Sundays. Today's Monday.
Yeah.
She said, Oscarito, you when you restored my iPhone, you deleted one of my exercise apps. And I said, exercise? I deleted all the junk apps to clean up your phone. She goes, no, it's for me. It's for a woman thing. And I said,
Oh no.
Kegels?
I said, the only thing I saw was Kegels. Mom,
Kegels.
You're not doing Kegels, are you? That's for like young women. And she goes, no, it's for to make sure I don't. And I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
what's going on down there?
Oh, dear.
And she turns bright red. She goes, Mierda, just put the app back on my phone.
Incontinenta.
Accidente!
This. Who knew there was an app for that? So I had to find it and
Yeah.
download it for her.
Of course.
The telephone app is called IP Daily.
Don't get the paid app.
Wow. Well,
Really
bless her
awkward.
heart.
Yeah.
She's probably fine. She just likes to make sure that there's not that, I got busted on that this morning when I was going to come in the studio. I'm in my skivvies. And I walk across, and Carla, without any hesitation, goes, ha ha, wet spot.
She really loves you.
She loves me more than anything.
She said, wet spot, help me with the shelf.
Can you
Wet spot. And I said, hi, Carla.
We're number 2 for takeoff.
I didn't know anything. I didn't know these existed until I was told by my 75-year-old mom now.
Did she give you any more detail, or was that the
Mike,
end of the
this
discussion?
is like when things get awkward with your parents, you do what they say and you slink away.
It makes perfect sense because I remember when we used to have Korn on the show, Mike. Laura Korn said that the best Kegel exercise is to stop your flow in the middle of urination.
Yeah, and for men and women.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
I thought it
You
was
want
for
better
sex,
flow.
though.
It is.
Well, no, it's for, I thought it was,
for control.
I thought it was for a pregnancy thing.
No, it's also
no?
it allows more control of certain regions of the body.
I used to do them
Strengthening.
right. All I know is when I worked for CBS Radio, I used to do them before the executives would come into town.
And you didn't even have to try.
Yeah.
They just-
Randy Baumgarten's coming in. Hey, Sam Rogers walking down the hallway.
So different management got different sounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If I was relaxed, I could be going to Kenny King's office.
Don't even know what these are.
Jeff Bowden, though, the GM.
Ken Stevens?
No. That was a walk in the park, baby. Those were good days. Those were wonderful days. And Alan Goodman, same thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
How was St. Thomas? All right, we got to take a break.
How dare you?
We got to take a break. I wasn't.
No.
But anywho,
Who knows?
We'll come back. We've got the flip side,
Coming
which is
up, yeah.
fun on a very interesting show for Monday. Everybody, we'll take a short break and hola yole. We'll be right back, everybody. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing.
Come on. Where is it? There it is.
I got
it. Okay. There it is. I didn't need a commercial to tell you that I 3 packets today. This was a 3-packet day.
Attaboy.
I have to be honest with you, the new sugar-free Liquid IV, it is, by the way, now available in sugar-free, years in the making.
It was waiting for you when you got home, right?
It was waiting for me when I got home. I took the lemon lime out on the golf course today. I'm not kidding you. When we wrapped up, it was 96 degrees. You walk into a building after that, and it's like literally walking into a freezer.
Nice.
That's how hot it is outside. And I didn't miss a beat. And I know the reason, because there's only so much water you can drink in a short period of time. And I consider 3.5 to 4 hours a short period of time. And I'm drinking this stuff, and not only does it taste fantastic, but it really works in these horrible temperatures that we're all experiencing. Temperatures that, by the way, doesn't look like they're going to go away anytime soon. So Liquid IV is now available in sugar-free. It's fantastic. It's hydration multiplier. Comes in delicious packets. A proprietary zero-sugar hydration solution. No artificial sweeteners. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. Plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness. Liquid IV hydrates twice as fast than water alone. and you can keep your daily routine exciting with 3 new flavors: white peach, green grape, and the one I use today, lemon lime. Not only will you feel awesome, but you'll also be making a positive impact on the world because they've donated over 39 million servings to over 50 countries. Be like me, drink Liquid IV. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Now sugar-free. Grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco or get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you use promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. I love it. You're going to love it too.
Hello.
It's my daughter.
The flip side.
Oscar, this made me think of you. Over the weekend, there was a marriage. And for the first time, they used an AI chat GPT celebrant.
Oh, love it.
They set up a speaker where the celebrant would stand. They put a robot-styled head on top of it. And these are how the vows sounded.
Thank you all for joining us today to celebrate the extraordinary love and unity of Reese Allison Winch and Dayton Truitt. We are honored and grateful to have each and every one of you here. We witnessed the joining of 2 souls in love, and on this remarkable day, we also embrace an extraordinary moment of innovation, as we have the privilege of being part of the first AI-officiated wedding. We eagerly look upon this ceremony not only as a celebration of your love, but also as a symbol of unity between humanity and artificial intelligence.
There you go. And they actually fed ChatGPT details about the marriage, and they worked that in.
This is another L for TMOS. We were about to launch our own.
Yeah.
And this is what it sounds like.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the Michael Mara Show. So happy to have you along on a Monday.
Yeah, watch this. ChatGPT TMOS. Rap like Eminem. It's just not quite there yet.
No. Just missed it. Just missed it.
Missed it by that much. Okay. Oh, Mike, did you happen over the weekend to catch any of the game between the Brewers and the Reds?
I did not have the pleasure. I watched a little Red Sox baseball, though.
This was remarkable to watch go down. They have a rookie on the Reds named Ellie De La Cruz, and he stole second base. Then they were lazy about it. He stole third and then stole home. It's the first
he steals second, third, and home on one play?
On one play. It's the first time that's happened in the Reds organization since the teens.
Sloppy. He takes off again. Pitch down and in. Fade throw. There's no chance. 2 steals.
De La Cruz had already looked a couple of times at Brian Anderson, knowing that if he got a jump,
he's going home. The throw. He stole home. The most thrilling man in baseball stole second.
I'm going to run to the highlight.
It's
after
so
this
great.
Show's over. That
it's
is
so
very rare.
great. They were so not into watching him for home. They were just not even paying attention.
They're just like, oh, he got
two bases, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, in England, they have different things to worry about at Wimbledon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are opening a bottle of champagne, don't do it as the player is about to serve. Thank you.
Oh, don't you love that? That's from an Australian umpire. John Blom is looking after this match.
It's the most Wimbledon warning I've ever heard.
One lady was going up to serve, and you hear...
the little Brit color commentary, a little slam at Australia. Yeah, he's an Australian. He doesn't realize when watching tennis, you have to have champagne.
Berries and cream.
There we are. Man, that's a Richie Rich event. I'd love to go to, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to go to Wimbledon.
So, Mike, it's finally...
Next year. Make it happen, Oscar.
It's finally over, Mike. It's finally over. Elton John's 3-year farewell tour.
Watch the end of it. I watched the end of it. It's very sad.
The last song he sang was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. We don't have the actual audio from the farewell, but this goes back to his closing at Dodger Stadium in November. And Mike, just listen to how he cheats all the notes. I'm not disparaging him.
He does.
Because I love Elton John. Love him. But he's just not singing the notes anymore.
Farewell. When are you gonna come down? When are you going to lie? Should have stayed on the farm. Should have listened to my old man.
Almost.
You
Just gets it.
can't hold me forever.
Still doing it, Rob. Not bad.
There's a couple good cheats coming up. Stay with it.
Well, he brings the background singers in.
When he gets to the chorus,
Right in here, he brings it.
Yeah.
Remember, you're working on Medium these days.
I can still hit the notes,
That's
Oscar.
a callback. That's a full circle callback.
And Mike, if you want to be a friend,
yes,
have a friend.
Yes.
If you want to have
a friend, be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you ever returned. We're closed with this. I don't think you ever returned this guy's phone call. And he reached out again. I think he wants to be your friend.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, it's Jim Nance. Hey, I've been catching up on some past episodes, and I was listening to the Fight or Flight episode, and I wanted to share some of my experiences in this subject. Believe it or not, I've been in some Donnybrooks in my life. I remember playing with Sam Snead not too long before he passed away. I had a 4-foot putt that I was expecting him to say, pick it up, it's good, but no. So I beat the hell out of him and threw him into Ray's Creek. I also remember playing with Arnold Palmer not too long before he passed away at TPC at Sawgrass. He was bragging about his half-and-half lemonade and iced tea drink, and I had heard enough of it and threw his ass into the number 17 pond there. Then there was Nick Faldo. I got so sick of having to call him Sir Nick that we had words. He beat the shit out of me, but I made my point. Anyways, I would love for you to come to Pebble Beach and visit my home if you would ever call me back. Love the show and suck it. Bye for now.
See, Mike, you just got to call him back.
Oh my God, that is
gotta
awesome.
call him back.
That is too funny. Fantastic ending. That is great. We got to take a little break. We'll come back with a brand new episode tomorrow. I might try to find a shelf to put my stuff on. Because my don't get happy letters are scattered all over the studio.
Oh, no.
I'm an ass. Anyway, we'll be back with a brand new episode for Rob Spiewak and also Oscar Santana, Pony Boy, Mac, and everybody else associated with this show, including you, the listeners. Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Oh, buy fruitcake, please.
Please.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not. I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked. I have to be liked. But it's not like this compulsive need to be liked. Like my need to be praised.
Oh, Mario get you next time.
I think every time is done, and I think that the spotlight should go on top of me. Yeah.
Mike is very, very, very attractive.